Alabama's Morning News. I'm JT. Steve Cotton joins us now, who is a financial strategist, to talk about our economy and where we're at when it comes to inflation. That seems to be the word these days, as it's going up, that's for sure. Steve, welcome in. Thanks for being here.
Well, good morning. Thanks for having me.
You know, I do have some financial people that do listen to the show, but for the most part, I would imagine most of my listeners are not financial strategists. So let's talk from the common folks out there about, first of all, what drives inflation, what causes it, and what helps reduce it and bring it down.
Well, the main factor right now is the unexpected and erratic rise and fall and rise in oil prices precipitated by the Iranian situation. I don't believe that's structural. I believe that's temporary. But oil price rises globally permeates all kinds of products, fertilizer, gas at the pump, but it also, we use a lot of petroleum products in the processing of plastics that goes into packaging food and all kinds of things. So the truckers, the airlines, the consumers filling their gas tank at the local station all see a measure of inflation pretty quickly, but there are some more subtle effects that people are also feeling now.
All right, you're painting a silver lining for us, which is good in this mess that we're in right now, meaning that this oil situation affecting all of our lives because of the war, it's a temporary situation. We all hope and pray sooner than later it ends. You mentioned structural inflation. What's the difference?
Well, episodic or temporary situational inflation is just as I described.
Right.
Kind of inflation we saw during the Biden years, where inflation was running at 9% as opposed to, about 3.8% right now. That was due to gross overspending by the federal government. It was due to arbitrary restrictions on energy, which drove up the price of energy unnaturally. It was due to all kinds of government mismanagement fundamentally. But that's what you get when you have those factors. That causes structural inflation. That is not the case right now.
Okay. Is our government and Donald Trump's administration and the economists and the experts under his presidency doing a good job when it comes to the fundamentals of trying to bring down spending and watch it?
Well, I think we were on track. They were on track to do that. In addition to passing, reauthorizing major tax cuts and expanding tax cuts. But the energy prices, the surge that we're experiencing now, was not something that was planned. It's a byproduct of the closure of the Strait of Hormuz, and I expect that's going to be resolved in the next 30 to 60 days. I don't think there's going to be a permanent end to this Strait of Hormuz problem until either the administration unilaterally decides to reopen the strait and escort tankers militarily to safety, or the fall of this regime. And I think either one of those scenarios is possible.
Yeah, I agree with you on that as well. But in the meantime, there's a lot of people that say, I'm not going through this COVID mess again. I am going to get out and enjoy my vacation this summer, despite the fact that airline tickets are pricey and gasoline's pricey. We have seen it come down, 13, 14 cents over the last week or so. But on the other hand, personal consumption expenditures price index, it rose 0.4%, which is okay, it's up, but that's not as good as it did in March. April was a little bit slower. Also slower pace is consumer spending. About 2/3 of the economy rose 0.5% in April, but that's not as good as it was in March, going up 1%. So it's a slow down on spending and people feeling good about things. But are you nervous about how bad it is affecting average Americans?
Well, I'm not nervous. I think your statistics are exactly correct. We actually have a mixed basket of statistics. Consumer spending has remained fairly strong despite the temporary elevation of energy prices. People are putting more on their credit cards. They're dipping more into their savings. The savings rate is down from 4.3 to about 2.6. But consumer spending continues at a fairly high level. So I think you're right about the vacation thing. But I think people are continuing to spend. I think there's a sense that this situation is temporary. But even if oil prices were to sharply drop today or tomorrow, there'd be a lag effect, and you wouldn't see the impact of that for several weeks.
Yeah, it's going to take a minute, that's for sure. It's not a switch, right? Steve Cotton, Cotton Wealth Management Associates. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate your insight.
Thank you, and glad to be with y'all.